Hi guys, welcome back to GFFA Games and the Old Republic. Last episode we had quite an exciting time, I think, defeating... Well, didn't defeat anybody. We got defeated ourselves and became a pawn of the Sith Emperor. But we made friends with a Sith guy named Scourge, Darth Scourge, and managed to escape. We've advised the Jedi Order on Tython what's happening, and we've been sent to Belsavis. Let's have a look to see what it says we are to do now we're here. We're in Chapter 3, by the way, so this is the final chapter of the base game of the Old Republic. Rendezvous with Enna Tabord. An Imperial infiltration team led by Executor Kranus has freed the prisoners on the Secret Republic prison world of Belsavis. Master Satil Shan instructed you to find Kranus and uncover the Emperor's plot to destroy the planet. Enna Tabord, a Jedi stationed on Belsavis, will rendezvous with you and guide you through the prison. Meet her at Republic Guard Post Beta at the minimum security section of the prison. Well, we're going to go ahead and do that. We are going to Belsavis. It's like an interesting swampy type planet, doesn't it? Like a fantasy planet almost. It appears to be taking its time to load, and I think that's because I forgot to plug the Ethernet in. Just give me a moment. Nope, it's plugged in. It's just me. Never mind. Scourge. I'm not sure we wanted you to come with us. What's my command for... What was that? Oh no, some rubbish. Oops. Hey, what the hell? Did he just what? Did he just hit me? I'm not quite sure what happened there. I'm sure he just attacked me, but never mind. Let's get rid of him. Here we are. We want T7.
Right.
Yeah. T7, you wouldn't believe what that wanker just did. Honestly. Let's jump on our speeder. Yeah, the Ethernet is plugged in, so I'm not quite sure why it took so long to load. I've just started playing X-Wing, the 1993 classic. What I think's really good is the Steam version gives you the opportunity to Flashpoint. Let's not worry about that. The opportunity to play all three versions: the original, the collector's edition, and then the special edition. Story art Belsavis. Well, we need to start that, don't we? Hey, buddy.
Welcome to Makula Station, gateway to the Belsavis penal colonies. Feel free to ask me about our correctional facilities.
Can it, 05? This is a prison, not a tourist attraction. Master Jedi, good to have you aboard. Warden Plate's already okayed your admittance. I take it you're... armed?
I never go anywhere without my lightsaber.
Thought so. Normally, I'd confiscate your equipment, but the Warden wants you planetside ASAP. Given the situation, I figure he'll want you carrying.
Tell me what's happening.
It's bad. Can't say much else. Just take the shuttle and report to the Warden immediately. And be careful, it's nasty down there.
Right, okay, so we've got to get to the Warden. Now, we made the mistake on Hoth of doing the planetary quests before the class quests. That's a bit of a noise, wasn't it? We're not going to make that mistake this time. Or at least I hope we're not. Wow, this is a well-populated planet, isn't it? I wonder if that's why it was taking so long to load. So apparently, I'd never heard of Belsavis before, but apparently it was first mentioned in Children of the Jedi, the Barbara Hambly novel, one of the initial kind of expanded universe novels that came out back in the 90s. But yeah, I hadn't heard of it. But that's pretty cool. Let's see where the hell we need to go. Oh my goodness me. This is only a small part of the planet as well. Wow, this is a huge planet. We've got some heroic dailies, which we're not going to bother with. That, I believe, is the planetary quests. And then we've got to rendezvous with Enter Board. So let's rendezvous. Let's do that. No, we want to do the... Yes, on Hoth we did the class quests first, and then we were stuck with planetary quests, weren't we? That's not what we want this time. We want to do the opposite. We want to do the planetary quests first, and then do the class quests. My God, honestly. Sometimes I do wonder if I am just thick. Probably best we don't answer that one. What's happened here? Bunch of dead people. Must be where they've escaped. Come on, T7. Down the lift we go. So where's the Warden? Here he is. Warden plate. Just have a double check to see what it wants us to do. You were informed by an intake officer at the Belsavis orbital station that Warden plate wishes to speak with you on the surface. Speak to Warden plate in the prison command center on Belsavis. Oh, fair enough.
So, the Jedi finally arrives. Started to think you'd gotten cold feet. I'm Warden Plate. This here's my second in command, Growl. Now, let's get one thing straight. This is my prison. You want to help out, bust a few heads, fine. But you'll do things my way. Understand?
I'm not here to challenge your authority, Warden.
Good. Last thing I need is some loose cannon jeopardizing our operation. This facility houses some of the galaxy's most dangerous criminals. Was one of the Republic's best-kept secrets until the Empire caught on.
Our guards found a subspace transmitter in one of the prison wards. Crude, but functional. Must have taken decades to scrap together.
Blasted thing led the Imperials right to us. They snuck in, sprang the prisoners, and blew open the armories in a single strike.
I need to know who or what we're dealing with here.
Only the worst of the worst find themselves in my prison. Use your imagination. The military's already sent a few elite detachments our way. Been about as useful as a tauntaun in a sandstorm.
Last we heard, they'd lost the deep prison. Encountered some unknown species in the maximum security wing. And they're getting pummeled.
Let them sweat. Our priority is securing this level. And that means stamping out a gang of lunatics calling themselves the Condemned. They're all second and third generation prisoners. Born and raised right here in the prison. Just as twisted as the scum they're descended from.
Sounds like they got a pretty raw deal.
Save your sympathy. They're animals. Every last one. Thanks to them, our security fields are down and our access to the armories has been cut off. We're sitting naked here. If we can retake the armories and get those fields back online, we'll be in business. Then we'll... Wait, what's that?
Warden! Return fire!
Well, we really didn't do a whole lot to help prevent that, did we? Well, I guess I'm warden now. Unless this guy's going to try and challenge my authority.
Seal off the wing! No one gets in or out without my say-so! Kelsa, how's the warden?
Dead, sir. Clean shot to the head. I think that makes you the new warden.
I hadn't thought of that.
Now isn't the time for doubt, Warden. These people need you.
All right. I'll do what I can for now. Securing this station is our first priority. Another ambush like that and we're through. Our security field should keep the prisoners out. Some condemned saboteurs trashed the field generator, and the whole network is down.
Leave it to me, sir. A few tools, a little elbow grease, and I'll have that generator back up in no time.
That generator could still be crawling with prisoners. I'd feel a lot better knowing someone was watching her back.
She'll be safe. You have my word.
I'll hold you to that.
Just let me slip into something more blaster-resistant.
The generator isn't far. Just keep those lunatics away from Kelsa. Give them one for the warden.
Okay, let's go and restore power. Heading down this way. Don't leave me out, we missed a lift. There we go. Come on, T7, teleport. T7? There we are. Right. So where are we going? All the way down here. Let's do it. So, since the last time we played, I think I wanted to talk a little bit about the comments that the new director of the next Star Wars movie, the Rey movie, has been making. I don't think I want to be going down this way. Because it's caused a little bit of controversy, and I think some of it's kind of forced. The kind of comments about her comments. I don't think that she intended to cause a major uproar with what she said. I think, like a lot of people, they're a little bit naive about fandom, and they say things without really thinking how it's going to affect a lot of the audience. Technically, I think they're not even aware of how it affects people because of confirmation bias and the kind of bubble that we all live in. Can I get through this way, or do I need to go the other way? Might have to go down this way, you know. Mandalorians again. Yeah, what she said was something like, you know, it's about time that a woman came forward to shape a Star Wars story. And like a lot of people, you're probably thinking, but there have been lots and lots of women that have shaped Star Wars stories. She's hardly the first. But technically she is the first director of a Star Wars movie that is a woman. assuming her film gets released. Because of course that would have been Patty Jenkins if Rogue Squadron hadn't been... I think it's been cancelled. I think it's been officially cancelled, Rogue Squadron, right? I think. But yeah, it was a bit of a strange comment to have made. Because, of course, people read it a certain way. And I did as well when I first heard it. I thought, oh, no. It means we're just going to get another kind of feminist story, you know? Which, again, I know a lot of people will say, well, that's nonsense and what's wrong with it anyway? But to me, this idea of putting messaging above the story sort of affects the story negatively. And I know I am kind of rambling on a little bit there, but I think that makes sense, right? But yeah, I think what she really was just saying was just commenting in kind of a virtue signally sort of way of what it is that she's planning on doing. I don't... because she's not the writer of this story. It's being written by a man. So when she's saying that she's going to shape the story, she's going to shape the story that's already written or will be written by a man. And I don't think there's anything really controversial with saying that. But yeah, it kind of came across as though she was naively suggesting that no other woman had ever worked on something Star Wars narrative-wise, which is just an absolute nonsense. But I am cautiously optimistic about that movie. It might be good. It might be awful. I'm not convinced that she's the right person for the job because I have, as far as I'm aware, she's never made anything remotely like that previously. Hang on a minute, I thought that was what we were coming for. Oh no, it's on the other bloody side of the... I'm in the wrong area. Never mind, let's get back. Yeah, but having said that, George Lucas had never made a science... well, I suppose he'd made THX, hadn't he? But he'd never made anything on the scale of Star Wars when he made it. So... you know, there is some... I'm in the exact same place. Basically what I'm saying is I don't think there's much need for concern at the moment. We might as well wait for the movie to... who the hell is this guy? What are you doing, you knobhead? Get off. You know, wait for the movie to be released and then criticise it, because I'm sure there'll be plenty to criticise. Same with this Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and I'm guessing that that's a working title. I really do hope that, because that's an awful title. But since that was announced, it's now rumoured to be a season finale. So whether it's actually being released theatrically, or it's going to be a just a movie on Disney Plus, I don't know, like a feature-length episode. I'm not really sure, but again, it is what it is. So wait and see. Is half of this stuff even going to ever see the light of day? You know, we've had how many movies announced that have just never materialised? I think we need to follow this road around this other way. So I don't see the point in getting upset about things. And I know people have pointed to other comments that director's made about Charmin Obeid Chinoy, something like that, isn't it, her name? Similar comments she's made previously about she enjoys making men uncomfortable, and she always inserts her activism into films, and activism's a pretty loaded word. But I can only really speak to my own opinion, and personally, what's it matter now? You know, Star Wars is pretty much dead. New Star Wars. There's just no. I really just don't have much interest in it. Somebody linked me the Acolyte trailer earlier today that was leaked from Celebration. I don't think I'd seen it before, and I've got to admit, it looked fine, and if this was 10 years ago, I'd have been really excited about it, but as it stands now, I just don't care. It just doesn't do anything for me. I think we need to head this way. So look at the mission log, see what it actually says, what we're doing. Assistant Warden Graal is struggling to regain control of the minimum security section in the wake of Warden Plate's assassination. He has informed you that the security fields need to be restored. One of his officers, Kelsa Gero, has offered to repair the field generator, so Graal has asked that you keep her safe while she works. So we've got to meet up with Officer Gero at the security field generator in the minimum security section. So is this the minimum security section? It's got to be, right? Let's kill these guys. Interestingly, they've also, well, it's not been announced, but it's kind of a I've got to defeat 12 of these condemned guys, so I might as well do that. It's been rumoured that they're doing a What If series for Star Wars. Now, I've never seen the Marvel What If series. It doesn't really interest me, I have to admit. But a Star Wars one, even back during the Expanded Universe days, I really wasn't interested in Infinity's stories. They just didn't offer any real narrative interest to me. I always think they're sort of kind of like a fan fiction type of thing, you know. So the only way I could see it being remotely interesting to me is if they called it Star Wars Legends and they adapted some Legends storylines, you know, because that's kind of a what if to their canon, right? I could see that being quite interesting. I just don't see them ever doing it. Thanks, T7. I think that they're scared to acknowledge sometimes that where they've kind of taken the Star Wars universe isn't very interesting. And really, the stuff that was being made years and years and years ago is actually a much more interesting way to go about things. Oh, we've defeated all the condemned we need to kill, but I think we're just going to get attacked anyway, but let's see if we can get around some of these guys. Must be up here, this must be the thing.
That should do it. Throw the switch and cross your fingers.
Grawl here. It looks like that did it. The security fields just went up. Not a moment too soon. Even better, that boost jump-started the station's internal generators. We're rerouting power to them now.
That means the prisoners won't be able to knock out the fields again, right?
For the time being. You did good. And thank you for looking after Kelsa. She's only a junior corrections officer. I'd hate to see anything happen to her. On that note, I just received intel from Republic Command that those condemned lunatics have already responded to our shield restoration. They just hit another armory. This one's unique, though. It's stocked with all kinds of prototype weaponry, including our new Magnetar rifles.
I'm assuming that's a weapon of some kind?
More or less. The Magnetar rifles were specifically designed to disrupt energy shields. The technology's experimental, but effective. Our security fields won't last against one of those things. A single shot takes a while to load up, but it could punch right through our defenses.
Send me the armory's coordinates. I'll deal with the condemned myself.
Just make sure you get all the weapons. A single unaccounted rifle could compromise the station's security. Try not to kill anyone if you can. There's been enough death already. Bring the rifles back to the station once you've retrieved them. Grawl out.
Here. These stun grenades should take the fight out of them.
Okay. We've got to incapacitate 4 prisoners using these damn stun grenades. I'm assuming they're in my mission items inventory. Yes. I'm not quite sure how we use those, but let's find out. We've got 6 rifles to recover in here. Okay. See if we can get in there without causing too much suspicion. I'll go down here, so let's kill these guys. Well, can I use my stun grenade on this guy? No. Can I use a stun grenade on this guy? Yes. Don't kill him, T7. Well, that bit was easy. Why can't I mount? Never mind. Yeah, I started playing X-Wing because I've been reading through the expanded universe, as you're probably aware if you've watched any of my videos previously. And I kind of got up to 1993, and there's some video games that kind of got released at the same time, and I've never really played X-Wing all the way through. I have played the first tour of duty, but it was, it was old when I was kind of getting into Star Wars, which was probably around 97 when I first started to play Star Wars properly. Video games and things. Oops. So it was kind of old then. I've played the Steam gives you all 3 versions. The classic version, I think I would really struggle to play because that really is dated graphics-wise. Even the CD-ROM version, the special edition, which is the one I will be playing, You know, that still looks fairly dated, but it's a damn sight better than the original, the classic. But we'll see how it goes. It's a very difficult game, which is what is kind of making me struggle with how to record it, because I don't think I can do like I do with the Old Republic, where I can just sit and talk while I play it. It's just, it requires too much kind of mental capacity to play. So I'm not sure how best to approach that. I may just record it as best I can and then kind of compile it and talk about it, because there's loads of stuff that I want to do with that game. Kind of talking about the story, because there isn't much of a story to the game itself. The story all came from the Farlander papers, which I've got a copy of in my physical version of the game, and also the strategy guide. And I think there are 2 strategy guides: the one for the classic game, and then the one for the collector's edition, which included the or the special edition. I can't remember exactly what the terminology is, which included the 2 bonus tours of duty for the B-Wing. So what I might end up doing is kind of compiling it all together and putting together a proper full video about it, and maybe kind of set it in the context of where it came in the expanded universe, because really you have I thought I was going to be able to click on that. You have Heir to the Empire, which was the first expanded universe novel. You have oh, hello buddy. Dark Empire, which is of course the first expanded universe comic book. And then you had X-Wing, which is the first expanded universe video game. Now, there were other video games prior to that, of course, but most of them were just adaptations of the movie, or the movies. So you had the NES version of Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. You had the Famicom Star Wars game, which admittedly you'd struggle to really call that an adaptation, but still, it existed. I don't think Super Star Wars had been released yet. I think that's kind of the same time as X-Wing that came out. The only video game that I can think of that wasn't an adaptation prior to X-Wing was the Droids game for the ZX Spectrum. But man, that game is just really tough. It's just when I say tough, I mean it is difficult to play because of the way the controls work in it. It's not something that I would recommend. And technically, I suppose you could say it's an adaptation of the series, you know, the Droids cartoon, what it was based on. You know, I can't say for certain that it was intended to be. Obviously, it was intended to be based on the Droid series, but whether it's an adaptation of an episode, I'm not 100% certain. But either way, it ain't good. So I think it's fair to say that because even the Droids cartoon wasn't really considered expanded universe, it certainly had major influence on the expanded universe, like the West End Games stuff and everything else, because of Ben Burtt's direct involvement with it. But yeah, I don't think it was ever really considered canon to the expanded universe. Maybe it was. Later on, they kind of became a lot laxer in what they considered to be canon. But I do remember reading the Secrets of Shadows of the Empire, where they really just said, when they made Heir to the Empire, that it was kind of a new start, and they used a lot of West End Games stuff because why not? You know, they'd done a fantastic job of expanding the universe out, so they really used that as a base point, but they could change things if they wanted. So that's where I stand with it anyway. I think I'm going the right way. I hope I am. Yes, here we are. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of story in the X-Wing game itself. It is all in the kind of material that came with the game or surrounding the game, which makes it interesting because you can be as involved as you want in the story. But I want to really explore that story and set it in the context of the expanded universe. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Probably a series of videos like that.
Welcome back. Glad to see you made it, and with all the rifles, no less. I appreciate you keeping the body count to a minimum. The last thing we need is to provoke the rioters even further. With the shield generator online and the Magnetar rifles back in our hands, we'll be safe for a while. Thank you.
Any other weapons I should be worried about the prisoners getting their hands on?
Just the usual assortment of blasters and vibroblades. Good news. We finally have a lead on the Condemned's ringleader. Found this holo recording on one of Plate's assassins. Take a look.
Brothers, sisters, I am Niranos. Like you, I was born into captivity, shackled by the crimes of my ancestors. Our forefathers rot in the bowels of this prison, their debt to the Republic repaid in full. Yet, here we remain, guiltless. We must stand united against this injustice. Together we will tear down these walls and seize our freedom.
He goes on from there, but you get the idea. This guy is bad news. He's cunning, ruthless, and worst of all, charismatic.
Sounds like he has every reason to be upset.
Don't buy into the whole hero of the people routine. He's injected just enough truth into his rants to rally his followers. Niranos is dangerous, but he's just a puppet. The Empire's been using him to provoke the inmates. Fortunately, they slipped up.
That's right. I isolated several audio cues from the recording and got a fix on its origin. Could be their headquarters.
This is the break we've been waiting for. Now that we know where they're hiding, we can finally take the fight to them.
Why are Imperials fraternizing with convicts?
The Empire's been egging them on in hopes of escalating the riots. May get more than they bargained for. Niranos and his Imperial cohorts are the brains behind the Condemned. We take them out, we end this riot. Get to their hideout. If Niranos is there, eliminate him. Otherwise, find out what they're up to. Any insight could go a long way.
I understand completely.
Hang on to those stun grenades Kelsa gave you. Kill the Imperials if you like, but again, I'd prefer the prisoners were subdued non-lethally. Contact me when you've cleared out of the base. I'll be waiting for your report.
Right, so we can kill the Imperials, that's fine. He's not bothered about that. But the prisoners, he'd prefer us to subdue them. What a nice guy. I think there's more going on here than meets the eye. Oh. Oh, come on. Every time. Well, not every time. But enough times to be annoying. So I've got to incapacitate 4 of the escaped condemned again. Let's see where this is going to take us to. Officer Venpor, what have you got to say?
Hawkins, take Rawat and check the North Tower. If the prisoners have it, let me know and I'll send reinforcements. Master Jedi, I could sure use your help. The prisoners are going from building to building, attacking everyone. Worse, I've got civilians hiding in the prisoner intake yard. If the convicts find them, it'll be a massacre.
Doesn't sound like a safe place to hide.
When the riot started, it was the best we could do. I moved the guards' families there for protection. We're moving them off-world as soon as possible. I managed to scare up an armored transport. Problem is, there's an army of bloodthirsty convicts between the transport and the guards' families.
I'll clear the prisoners out of the area.
I knew I could count on you. Just be careful. They aren't showing anyone mercy. I need you to clear a path for the transport so it can get to those civvies. The prisoners are gonna throw everything they've got at you. Honestly, I wouldn't send a womp rat on this suicide run, but I'm out of options. Can you do it?
Your transport is safe with me.
Thanks. With you on the job, I can concentrate on bringing other areas under control. You'll need to clear a path from there to the prisoner intake yard. That should buy enough time to get the civilians.
Okay. Hop on my little speeder. So... okay, it's on our way anyway. Oh, we don't want to do that one, sorry. Oh, is it taking us through to the next area already? Well, let's go and do that one then. This way. We'll head on through to the next area and maybe call it a day, because it has been 40 minutes. Doesn't seem like I've been on this game 40 minutes. It's crazy. Going the wrong way, never mind. So we want to head through here by the looks of it, this tunnel. Terrorist detention center. Okay, Abu Ghraib. I think that's what they called it, right? Made short work of them, didn't we? Right, so what was that actually doing down here? Oh, we're in the area.
I thought they were gonna rip the transport apart. Clear a path to the intake yard. I'll follow you.
Okay. A lunatic and an anarchist. How interesting. Oh, guys. Am I heading the right way here? Not really sure. Okay, return to the driver. It was over this way, wasn't he?
Thanks a lot. That'll make my job easier. You should go now.
Oh, is that it? What an unusual mission. That was kind of pointless. I don't want to go and do that yet, so I'm just going to have to head back, I think. I don't want to start the class quest, so I'm going to get these planetary quests done first. So let's head over to the next area, I guess, but we're not going to start the mission. I don't think we're going to call it a day once we get there, because I am conscious of recording videos and making them ridiculously long, because I lose track of time. I could probably edit down these videos a bit more, but I'll be honest, it takes a long time to edit videos, and the whole point of playing Tour was so I can get a video out once a week without it being too much hassle. So I'd rather not be spending ages editing them. I haven't always managed to get a video out once a week, but still, it gives me time to actually get on with things that I need to do outside of playing video games. So I think when I first started, I was editing these quite a bit. But yeah, it's just the time that it takes to do it. So I'm not planning on... Oh, this is the primary thoroughfare. We need to head down and come off, I think. It's not very clear, is it, how you get through that way? Doesn't seem to be that way, so I do think we still need to continue down here. Then come off here, is it? What a Sith tyrant. Let's not anger him too much. Rift lurkers. Don't know what they are. They look like them little things from World of Warcraft. What were they called? Kobos or something. Been a while since I played that. I know they were a bit of a meme at the time. I'm assuming we're heading the right way. Is it through here? I'm just going to do a bit of archaeology, Mr. Rift Lurker. Please don't attack me. Thank you. Oh no. Oh, come on then. Come on then, Mr. Rift Lurker. Let's kill you. That's what you get. Right. Condemned. Are you condemned? Certainly look condemned. Remember, we've got to... Oh, killed him, unfortunately. Can't use it on this guy. Okay, what about you guys? Let's not jump into combat because we want to try and use these. I think that's 3 of them. I think I've got 1 more, 2 3s with my grenades. Yeah, buddy. That's more like it. There we go. Now we can just kill people. Well, we're not technically killing them, remember? We're incapacitating them, I think. At least that's what we're going to tell the warden. So this is one of the tactical coordinators we have to defeat. I'm guessing... Ah, yes. Set of orders. Use the computer terminal. So whereabouts is that? Oh. Somewhere in here. I thought this was taking us to the next area, but it's not, is it? It's just a mission in the... like an instance within the first area. So never mind. That was my own stupid fault. Misinterpreting. So let's get this mission done, and then we'll think about calling it a day, I think. Yeah, so with the Acolyte, the trailer looks pretty good, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't think there's a white man to be seen, but I think you just kind of have to accept that nowadays. That you know, things have gone so far that way that you can do that and no one will moan about it. In fact, they'll probably count it as a positive, which seems almost the opposite of the inclusivity that they're trying to foster. But yeah, I always wondered whether it's gonna be kind of lost on me, because I've not read much of the High Republic beyond that first novel they did. Is it going to be a major payoff for people that have read that entire series, like, or is it going to be perfectly accessible for everybody? I'm assuming it's going to be accessible, because I'd be very surprised if they wanted to completely alienate their audience, but well, stranger things have happened, haven't they? I mean, even with this Mandalorian movie, if it is going to be released in the cinemas, is it going to be accessible for people, or is it going to be a case of you need to watch 3 or 4 seasons of a TV show to understand it? I think you can kind of make an argument for either way. You know, one, Disney are going to want people to subscribe to Disney Plus to watch their shows. So if they're going to make a movie, they might kind of market it like that, catch up on the series now. Or they could make it so it's just accessible and you don't need to watch the show, but you know, you're going to get more out of it if you do, which I think is probably going to be the approach that they'll take with this stuff if it is released theatrically. And even The Acolyte, you know, you're not going to be intended to have read all of the books and short fiction and comic books and played the video games and all that before you watch the series, because I think that's just too much to expect from people. But I'm guessing if you have done those things, you'll get more out of it. You know, there'll be little, you know, like a little gift for you kind of thing in there, which I don't have a problem with. I think that's fine. There's another guy coming in, is it? I wonder what was going on down there. I have to admit, it doesn't make me want to go back and reread all that stuff. But I quite enjoyed that first novel, you know? But it was just unfortunate that it was too little too late for me, the High Republic. I've been saying for a long time that they needed to... Okay, them guys are just gonna kill everybody, aren't they? But never mind. You know, I really wanted them to focus on their own kind of era for the books and comics. I thought that was what I wanted, you know, to carve out a new era, because they just weren't. They couldn't say anything. They couldn't do anything because of TV series. I do think it's a bit odd that The Acolyte is based on this era, because, again, it's kind of almost tying the hands in the novels, potentially. I haven't heard that that's what they've done, but still. The premise just didn't really interest me. An era without Sith. The rumour is that the Acolyte's going to focus on Darth Plagueis. Again, I'm not sure that's a good idea. I don't know. I know people are excited about it and the possibilities of it, which is fine. I think that the showrunner on that, the writer, that Leslie Headland, is it? I mean, she was the personal advisor to, was it Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein?
Grawl, the leaders aren't here. And you're going to want to hear this.
A neural disruptor? Can they even do that?
It's possible, sir. Would incapacitate us all. However, I should be able to recalibrate the security shields to block out its effects.
Do it. I don't want to be a twitching, drooling heap when the condemned get here. That's one crisis averted. But you better get back here fast. Once they realize the disruptor didn't work, they'll attack in force.
I'll get there as soon as possible.
Hurry back as soon as you can. Grawl out.
Okay. Hey guys, how are you? Can we just fast travel back? Don't want to do that one. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. An unusual association to have with Star Wars, I think. Not a good one. But yeah, I'm not sure if anything happened there with her. Whether she was a victim or, well, whether she knew anything about it at all. But yeah, it's not somebody that I would personally have hired for my Star Wars series. Anyway, I think I am kind of rambling a little bit now. I'm quite tired. I'm not sure now. Since I got over the flu over New Year's, honestly, I've just been really tired. I think it's just kind of catching up on sleep because I missed an awful lot of sleep. But still, we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week, where hopefully I'm a little bit more awake. I know I've said I've started playing X-Wing, but you're not going to see any videos from that in a while, because I do need to finish the game, I think, before I start making them, or at least finish the first touch. Oh, crap. What's going on here? I didn't realise I was walking into an ambush. You can tell how tired I am. Okay, I've got to kill 8 guys. Let's just do that and then we'll call it a day. Honestly. This game gets the better of me sometimes. Still, you know what? It's a nice game though, isn't it? It's a nice kind of just sit back and play it kind of game. You know, you don't get too frustrated with it. Whereas something like X-Wing, let me tell you, you get pretty frustrated with that. That is not an easy game at all. Just doing the proving grounds, which is kind of like the tutorial. I'm really struggling to do it. But I kind of want to do it because I want to have a nice recording of it for the story. So it is part of the story. Kian Farlander gets you know, a really good score on the proving grounds, so I feel like I need to do that. Defeat more condemned before we talk to him. I'm really starving as well, I don't know why. A couple of nights ago I was lying in bed and I was thinking, I am so hungry I had to get up and make an omelette because I was just, wow, I've never had that before. Well, I have when I was like a teenager, but no, not recently. Very strange. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Whether it's all to do with being ill and recovering. Probably is, because I think your body reacts in some strange ways to things, but yeah, the sad thing is I needed to get up fairly early the next day, which isn't easy when you've been eating at like midnight or 1 in the morning, whatever it was. Anyway, we've killed those guys, so let's speak to Grawl and call it a day. He was over here, wasn't he? Oh no. Silly sausage. We can't mount in here, can we? So I think after I've played through X-Wing, I think there's also Rebel Assault and Dark Forces that I need to play before I really move on with my expanded universe reading. I've played Dark Forces before, and Rebel Assault. I've played both of those before, but again, Rebel Assault's very, very difficult, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done. Oh, is she dead?
It's too late. We held them off for a while, but they broke through. Most of our personnel fell back to the armory, but Kelsa, she was a model officer. Those animals cut her down without a second thought. Would have been a massacre if you hadn't warned us about that disruptor. Oh, they'll die for this. The Condemned, the Imperials, and Nyranos.
I thought you wanted to resolve all this without violence.
I've exhausted my mercy. Those maniacs want a bloodbath. I say we give it to them. They're barricaded in the control room. We prevented them from slicing the central terminal remotely. Now they're trying to access it manually. I saved one of the Magnetar rifles for you. Should get you through the security fields. Get in there and finish this.
Okay. Let's use this fancy rifle, have we? Is that mission? It is taking us outside. Okay, let's get outside, then we'll save the game. I'm not sure if you can save it in here. I'm sure you can, but I don't want a load of enemies respawning on me. Don't you go away, Lift. Don't you go. No, no, come back. Honestly. T7. Where are you going? Lifts, eh, buddy? Come on. I'm going to go and get something to eat, I think, because, my God, I'm starving. I'm not quite sure what I want to watch. I recently bought the Despecialized on Blu-ray. I did have them downloaded, but I lost the files because of a hard drive crash. And I thought, rather than going through the pain of re-downloading them all, I'll just buy them off eBay. Some chap can make a bit of money from me. Honestly, fantastic. How they've done those, I've no idea. Absolutely brilliant. Highly recommended if you're interested in the... hang on, it's telling me to go back in here. If you're interested in the theatrical versions of the movies, I would strongly... honestly, this is me not paying attention to stuff, innit? I'd strongly recommend you buy the Despecialized or download them if you can. One of the issues I had with downloading them was the files were so big you have to use a download manager. And, well, I think I had to pay for one. Or did I do it in a free trial? I may have done it as part of a free trial. Okay, we've got to confront Nyranos. Shall we just do that since we're here? He's only here, look. Hey up, Nyranos.
How do you work this thing? This antiquated tech is older than... Nyranos? Company.
Master Jedi, my grandfather told me of your kind. I see now his stories were true. I'm glad our paths have finally crossed.
Stand down, Nyranos. Put a stop to this madness.
Never! We've come too far to just crawl back into our cells. Neither I nor my comrades have committed any crime against the Republic. We will have our freedom, one way or another.
Do shut up, Nyranos. No one wants to hear another speech. Just kill this upstart.
We came to negotiate, Imperial. Fight your own battles.
Speak for yourself. I'll take a fistful of Imperial credits over your crusade any day.
At least a few of you animals know the meaning of loyalty. As for you, Nyranos, you can die with the rest.
Let's kill this guy. And this guy. I guess Nyranos is going to be a good guy then, right? So I'm assuming he's one of these guys that's been born on the planet and hasn't actually done anything wrong. Which seems fair enough for him to be freed, I think. We shouldn't be guilty of the crimes of our fathers. There we go. Nyranos.
My own men, throwing me to the Imperials for a few credits. Only a lifetime in prison will breed that kind of desperation. But please, put down your weapon and let us speak. No one else needs to die today. I would have negotiated sooner, but those Imperial watchdogs wouldn't allow it.
I thought they were your allies. Why the sudden change of heart?
The Empire's aims were never ours. They extended a helping hand, only to catch us by the throat. But if words are not enough, allow me to prove my sincerity. Attention, my fellow condemned. This is Nyranos. Lay down your arms. It's time we resolve this peacefully.
Stop right there, you murdering scum! You won't poison this prison anymore! Why are you just standing there? Kill that lunatic so we can end this madness!
A Jedi never kills without reason, Grawl. Let's hear what he has to say.
You're not gonna listen to that madman, are you? How could you just forget everything he's done?
Neither I nor any of the condemned have ever been convicted of a crime. We merely inherited our ancestors' sentences. All we want is our freedom. Perhaps a small piece of land on Belsavis, where we can live in peace. We deserve that much.
Only thing this nutcase deserves is a blaster bolt between the eyes. If you don't kill him, I will!
You've heard our demands. Do what you will. Just know that I'll die before I return to that cell.
Nyranos is willing to forget the past, Grawl. It's time you did the same. Do the right thing, and help him settle his people.
Yes, you're right. This has gone too far. You'll have your freedom, Nyranos. You're going to work for it. I expect you and your people to help us restore order here.
Agreed. And thank you for seeing reason. We will not forget this.
I'm just glad we were able to settle this without any more violence.
As am I.
The sector is more or less secure now, but a Colonel Hauer has been asking for assistance in the high security wing. I told him I didn't have any men to spare, but that you might be able to lend a hand. He's expecting you now. You go on ahead. We've got things under control here. Just be careful. The innermost wings are real madhouses.
Well, seemed like a nice guy, didn't he, that Nyranos, in the end? What a nice chap. I'm guessing he's a... Is it a Kalish? The same species as General Grievous? Where are all these guys previously? Honestly. A bunch of losers. Hey, come on, lift, 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 lift. Yep, we got it. Good going, T7. There we go. Straight out. Oh. Jump on my shitty speeder. Let's have a look, see where we're actually going to head to next. Oh, now we're going to the next area, look. Let's head over there, because I'm kind of into this now. And then we'll call it a day. I think we need to head down to the main thoroughfare, was it? Was that down here? Maybe not. I think we might get in there a little bit too soon. I'm not sure. I did consider doing all the planetary missions in this area and then doing the class quests in the area. Maybe we should do that, you know. We've done the planetary missions in this area. now we can do the class quests in this area. We need to get down this way anyway. Can we do it that way? Is that going to get too confusing? The idea was to try and keep the story straight, because I was getting a bit out of sorts with it. But I think if we go and speak to Ennard, and then we can kind of... Oh, it gives us a bit more of a structure, doesn't it? Because I don't want to be in the situation like I was with Hoth, where I was just doing planetary quests and it was really boring, honestly. They weren't very good. So we can kind of do them at the same time, but organise ourselves a little better. It might work. So let's go and see what Ennard's got to say. We're not going to trigger the mission yet. We're going to wait and do it next episode. But I think that is what we're going to do. Not bothered about doing that. Got a heroic mission which we're not really interested in. Ah, she must be in there. Okay, so I'm going to call it a day there. And I will see you next episode when we'll do this area's class quests. Gives us a way to structure the episodes as well, doesn't it? So we've done the planetary quests for this area in this episode. Next episode we'll do the class quests. Then we'll do the planetary quests for the next area. And we'll continue like that as much as possible. It makes sense to me right now. We'll see if it works. Anyway, thank you for watching.